times, Mo, but I talked to so many great guests. This is going to be really a great conversation. We're going to talk about AI. Mo and I have known each other for a couple of years, I guess now.
Yeah.
And she runs, I think, three. Maybe you've grown. I don't know. We'll have to ask about that when we get one in just a minute. But she runs some small care homes. And what's crazy about it, what's wonderful is she's one of the most sophisticated users of AI of anybody I know in the senior living space. She runs circles for the most part around large enterprise organizations that are using AI. So before we get into the conversation, this.
Hey guys, Steve Moran here.
So Mo, you've been on before, but let's do it. Yeah. Let's pretend like you haven't. Let's talk a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then we'll get into AI.
Okay, very good. My name is Mo Carr. I'm the owner of 3 and soon to be 4 Avendelle Assisted Living facilities come September the 1st. And I operate small facilities, no more than 6 residents per location. And I use AI in my daily operations. Very effective.
And what part of the country are you in?
I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, Eastern, area.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about, so one of the things that, we'll get into your specific use cases in just a minute, but one of the things that, one of the sort of the truths that we hear going around, all the time with AI is that the AI you're using today is the worst AI you will ever use, meaning that it's getting better on a daily basis. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. It's forever changing, improving. Yeah. On a daily, even weekly, monthly, daily. Yeah. I'm forever learning a new way of doing things, a better way of doing things.
Okay, so let's ask the obvious question. We probably have talked about this before, but why does somebody who operates 24 beds in 4 buildings, or soon to be 4 buildings, why does somebody like you actually even need AI?
Oh my gosh. All the phone calls, all the texts, family communication, family members, staffing, scheduling, finances, managing the financials. AI impacts every operational task in my business. There's not one untouched.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I think that for me, and it sounds like this is true for you, I find new uses for AI. I had to do some historical reconstruction of some financial records for a family member, and all I could get was PDFs. I couldn't get a download of a spreadsheet. Mm-hmm. And the idea of manually putting those into a spreadsheet just made me lose my hair, even though I didn't have any. And then I got to thinking, I thought, you know what? I can put those into AI and tell it to extract it and put it in a spreadsheet. And I scanned them in, and it went through and extracted it and gave me all the data I need and saved me, hours and hours of work, to say nothing of it really being 100% accurate. And I probably would have messed it up.
Absolutely. That's been my experience. When we met before, I was pretty much focusing more on, at that time I was utilizing prompting, kind of like that, upload data, ask a question, AI would answer it. Well, I shifted to agents, automation, and it has absolutely changed the way I operate and how much time it takes to complete tasks.
Okay, you're going to have to do a little educating. I'm actually thinking right now, Jada, who's running things in the background, is we're actually going to have to do another episode, Mo, where you can come in and teach us how to create agents, and we'll do it as a learning lesson. I've only done this one other time, and it was an accident. It was a guy who helped me to get better research on Steve Moran. And I was at a conference, and he basically just hijacked the whole show. It was the most amazing thing. His name is Dennis Yu. He taught me so much in public about how to change things. I made all my team go back and watch it. You should go watch it if you haven't. It's something that would apply to you. But talk to me a little bit about what agents are and how they work.
Okay, so regular AI, you pretty much ask a question and it gives you a one-time helper. It gives you an answer. An agent is more, think of an agent like a person and a personal assistant that never sleeps, that works 24 hours, 7 days a week. You pretty much tell the agent what you want it to do, and it does that, it completes that task, and it communicates with other agents. So an agent is, again, like that personal assistant that never sleeps. You build it, you give it the instructions, and it continues to work for you.
Okay, so let me tell you, can you build me an agent that'll do this? I'll tell you the problem I have. It was a Friday afternoon about 3 weeks ago, and I had a conversation with somebody about being a guest on one of our live streams. And I wanted to take care of it right there. And so what I really wanted to do is I wanted to be able to pick up my phone and say, send Jada, and I'll use you as an example, send Jada and Mo an email and ask to see about getting Mo on site TV to teach us how to use agents. And is there a way to do that?
Absolutely. Steve, that's too easy, sir. So pretty much.
Okay, well, we're going to build this next time and sort of walk me through a high level on this.
Okay. So that's what we're going to do. What I would love to come back on and do a demo. It's better that I show you. But there are existing agents that already can manage many of our everyday tasks, whether it's in our personal life or our business life. And then for those that are not existing, we can absolutely build it. Yeah. And you do not have to be able to write code. That's the lovely thing about agents. If you can read and pretty much comprehend, understand what you're reading and follow directions, you can build an agent, or you can use it. You can build that network for those agents.
So so what platform are you doing this on?
I have my own platform, and again, I wasn't prepared to do a demo, but I will be happy to share that with you.
Okay, good. So we'll bring you back real soon to do this, because I'm really fascinated by this. So talk to me about some of the things you're using the agents to do. So you talked a little bit about family and scheduling. Talk to me about that.
Yeah. So I use my agents in training. I can generate staff training outlines, checklists in minutes, instead of hours, days. Instead of days, weeks even. I can generate that training outline and automate it. I build the agent. I tell the agent what I want it to do. I do the initial, it pulls from other systems. So it communicates with my QuickBooks. It communicates with my CRM. It also communicates with my email, and it pulls that information from my email, from my QuickBooks, whatever that task, and it follows through with whatever task I want it to do.
Oh, so man, I need that right now. I'm looking for some old historical documents on a project I'm working on. I'm having a terrible time finding it. If it could go through all my Gmail, that'd be amazing.
Absolutely can.
So are you also using it with resident care? And you said something about family communication. I would love to know about that.
I am. So
before you get there, let's answer this question here.
Okay.
Does your agent work with an EMR MedPass?
So my agent, it can work with an EMR MedPass. The important part of that is the HIPAA compliance piece. And so they are agents that's already built with that HIPAA compliance underlying. So absolutely, it can work with it can communicate. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you a use case. Will that work for you?
Yeah.
let's say you have a resident that's using a PRN, an as needed medication. Let's say it's for a behavior, right? And so what you're trying to do is, the goal is to identify if this PRN medication should be a scheduled medication. Okay, because it's being given numerous times during the day or every day, then perhaps this PRN med should be a scheduled med, because it's apparent that this resident needs it on a regular basis. So the agent can actually pull that data, and then one of two things: it can communicate if I want it to communicate with me, hey, you need to take a look at this, you need to share this with the doctor, then it can generate that communication piece to me, or it can communicate to another agent to draft an email and send it directly to the clinician's team. And I don't have to touch it in order to do this. It automates this process. So that's just one. There's so many. That's just one use case.
So talk to me about family communications. That's what I want to know about.
Okay, so communication, anything from a newsletter, so automating newsletter updates with the community. So our goal at Avendelle is family, person-centered care, and family. Together we make a family. So a part of that is communicating in real time, right? You want to communicate if there's any changes. You want to communicate how mom or dad is doing that day. So the agent actually pulls that information from our EMR system. We have to document on behaviors. It pulls that information and it pushes it out to the family member via text. All you need is an API.
And can a family member go in and say, how's mom doing today?
Absolutely. It communicates both ways.
It does. Oh, man. And you're doing it all by text.
Yep, all by text. You can, as long as you have the API, and again, we're going to do some demos next time so you can see how it works, then you can communicate both ways. Yeah, and it can be via text or it could be via email. It's your preference.
This is so good. So I interviewed a leader for an enterprise company, and they've got sort of a chat. I haven't talked to them for a year, so they may have changed how they're doing it, but they have sort of a chat GPT like, or a Claude like interface where you can log in and say, how's mom doing? How's mom been for the last week? And it goes out and does all those things. But being able to have it on your phone, to be able to just, say, how is it going? And as you know, I've got my 92-year-old stepfather who lives with us with dementia. He's sliding slowly downhill, and he's got 2 or 3 friends around who don't live in this area who want to check on him. And so I would say once, probably every 2 weeks, I get a text message from one of them, and I've got to type out this response. Now I'm at home, and there's probably not an good AI way to make this any less, but maybe there is. I mean, maybe I put in the notes one time into AI, and then it can actually, maybe I just do that and it sends out a text every week and says, here's how Gary's doing. People would probably like that, right?
You can do that. You can do that very easily.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna go to school on Tech Tuesday. I can tell.
We absolutely are.
Yeah. So one of the things there are a couple of things that I'm really fascinated by. Of course, as you know, I go to a lot of conferences.
Yes.
And I feel like for a year or maybe 18 months that as I would go to conferences, it seemed like AI came up in every single session, and there were a lot of dedicated sessions. I noticed in kind of my last sort of spring cycle that the interest in AI seems to actually have died down. And I'm really puzzled by that and what I think is that people are having a hard time. They know that it's cool and they know should be using it, but it feels too overwhelming and too complicated. Do you have any thoughts on this?
I do. What it is changing often. Once you get a grasp on one tool, one system, one process, it changes. And that people are becoming overwhelmed because it's like you can feel pretty comfortable using a tool, and the next week is you get an update and you have to learn everything, sometimes all over, a whole new way of processing and using that tool. And so it can be, just being honest, it can be. especially if it's not something you enjoy doing. You're not, I'm that person, I get super excited, but that's not everyone's response to it. So it's not for, and I'm going to say this, I love to learn, develop, use, build utilize these tools and build these agents. But if that's not for you, then that's something that you can outsource. That's something, something that's significant is AI is here. It's not going anywhere, right? So you have to identify how to apply it in your everyday, whether it's personal or in your business, in your business world. And so if you're not that person, then just find someone that is, because it can be overwhelming.
So you just came up with a brilliant business idea, if I don't mind saying so.
Well,
we have
you.
all kinds of consultants who do all kinds of things. We got sales consultants and IT consultants and website consultants and marketing consultants. Somebody should go out and be as smart as Mo. You can do this as a side business. I know you got a senior living company.
Well, I am a consultant, Steve. I am.
Imagine being able to call up Mo and say, hey, Mo, I want to do this thing. Can I do this with AI? And she said, oh, yeah, we can do that. And 10 minutes later or an hour later or a day later, you've got this new agent that's doing this thing for you. And I don't think there's anybody who's doing that except maybe you. Because I, like I say, as I go to these conferences, I just think that people they know it's really cool. They should know how to use it. They even sort of have some sense of how to use it, but that they're really intimidated by it, and then they worry. There's all this fear about artifacts and about fake information and those kinds of things. So what do you do about that?
So I want to say that I am a consultant and I do audit. I actually meet with business owners and operators, and I vet their systems. I audit their processes, their systems, and identify ways that they can use AI in their business to run it more effectively, seamlessly. And so I think you speak to, first of all, you acknowledge the concerns, you acknowledge the fear. A lot of it is just, they don't know, like we don't, just that fear of not knowing. And unfortunately it is portrayed, and there are some concerns. There's some, there are some legitimate things there, but we can speak to it, acknowledging it, answering those questions, and vetting it, AI in itself, just teaching those how it works and how to vet it and how to check it, and to understand that it's been here for a very long time, Steve. It's just been in the background. People we weren't aware that AI was actually, it's been here for a long time. We just didn't see it. It wasn't right there in front of us.
So that's right. I mean, and the truth of the matter is everybody who's in the senior living business is using AI, is being impacted by AI, even if they don't know it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I've been a little bit surprised that some of the big enterprise tech platforms, like the EHRs, EMRs, CRMs, have been pretty slow to actually create AI agents for their tools. I think that particularly with the CRMs, it becomes a little bit complicated for them because they're really dependent on the marketing companies. Now I've talked to a number of marketing agencies, and they're really afraid that people are going to say, oh, I'm going to use AI, I don't need a marketing company anymore.
Right.
I don't think that generally that's true. I think that generally you need a marketing company who uses AI effectively, and you're going to get better marketing, more bang for your buck. And the idea should be to ask your marketing people how they're using it.
That's it.
So anyway, what platforms are you using?
I use, of course, ChatGPT. So I use different platforms for different tasks. So I like ChatGPT. I like the communication, the chat part of it. Of course, I mentioned before, my ChatGPT's name is Amber. And when I tell you she knows me, she knows me. She has my voice. She knows my style of communication. She knows how I like to be communicated to, how I like to receive information. Now, for agents, I like to use Manus AI. Manus is outstanding when it comes to breaking. It does so many tasks at once, and it's a tool that's built that has agents working in the background, and so I'll get a lot done in a very short period of time. So sometimes I'll start with ChatGPT. I'll start the communication just to say, hey, this is an idea. Can you give, that I have? Can you tell me how to develop this idea? What do I need to put in place? Then I'll take that information and move it to Manus AI and say, make this happen. And it will provide me with all the steps, every step needed to actually make it happen.
So, or do you use voice? Should we try voice? I don't know if this is going to work or not.
I do.
ChatGPT?
Oh gosh, yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, so here we are. I am actually on a live stream with Mokar, Avalon Senior Living. Do I have it right?
Avendelle.
I'm sorry, Avendelle Senior Living, and I'm actually interviewing her while we're talking here, which is not the best idea in the world. But we're talking about AI, and I'm sure you know who she is a little bit. What questions should I be asking her? Oh, you're letting me down, aren't you? Anyway, okay, we'll have to. I thought that would be a fun experiment, but it didn't seem to work. So. But it's really scary to talk to it, right? Because you feel like you're talking to a human being, and I use it a lot when I'm driving.
Do you? I do too.
So here's the other thing I wanted to do is I collect information. I collect stories. I collect ideas, leadership ideas, collect marketing ideas. Can I go to it and say, hey, here's my idea. Go put it in my ideas list, or go put it in my marketing list, or go get it in my church kids list?
You can. So it just depends on your subscription. My subscription, I have projects, and I can build. So first of all, it remembers everything. It has the history, and I'm gonna try to use my if that's okay. I'm gonna try to use my Amber. Okay, my ChatGPT.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see if it'll work for me today.
Okay.
Let's see. Hi, Amber.
Hi there, Mo. I'm right here and ready to help out. Just let me know what you've got on your plate today, and we'll get to it.
Okay, I'm on a live right now with Steve, Foresight Senior Care, and we're talking about AI and agents and the difference in using regular AI and agents. Can you explain that to us?
Absolutely. So, in a nutshell, when we talk about just regular AI, we're usually talking about AI that's designed to handle specific tasks, like answering a question or analyzing data on its own. It's kind of a one and done tool. On the other hand, when we talk about AI agents, we're talking about AI systems that can act more like proactive helpers. They can manage a series of tasks, make decisions in a sequence, and basically function a little like an assistant that knows how to navigate different scenarios. So agents are more dynamic and can handle workflows rather than just individual tasks.
Okay, thank you, Amber. That was outstanding. Did you help me prepare for this live today?
You're so welcome. And yes, absolutely. We definitely went over this before to make sure you were all set. It's always great to see it coming together live.
Okay, thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Oh, no worries at all. I was just going to say I'm glad to help. And if you or Steve have any more questions while you're on the live, just let me know and I'll be right here.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
So for
you're
me,
always welcome.
For me, the scariest part is that when you start into these conversations, you actually start to feel like you're talking to a real person, and it's that good and that helpful. And I'm working on some big projects and some papers and some things that'll be so helpful to the industry in the coming months. I haven't said this publicly before today. Jade is wondering because she knows what it is, but I've got a big announcement. I mean, I can't say anything more than that, but I've got a big announcement coming in about the next 10 days. And so I'm working on some things that are leading to that are just insanely exciting. And AI is such a big part of doing that. And so for instance, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm going out and saying, I would like to. So one of the things that I've just started on, I can talk about this particular project. There is a lot of talk right now about the value to companies of thought leadership. And fairly, if you're a LinkedIn follower, there's been some discussion, not so much in senior living, but in some of the business and technology discussion. PayPal went out and they put out looking to hire somebody to basically help do thought leadership for their CEO. And it's really, really intriguing. And the CEO of Hootsuite has really picked up on this, and she's done some posts about it. She talked about one company where they've got 65,000 employees, and all 65,000 employees have been sort of turned loose to be social media ambassadors. And so I've been thinking about how I could talk to senior living operators, owners and operators about doing a better job of thought leadership to grow, to be customer facing, not industry. There's some people who are pretty good at it, industry facing, but I don't think anybody's doing a great job on a customer facing way. And so I went to ChatGPT and I gave it a bunch of instructions. And I said, basically, I want you to go out and find some examples of companies where they're doing this in a customer facing way that might have application. And it takes some time, right? It'll take 5 or 10 or 15 minutes for it to really do this deep research, and you get this little, you've hit. For me, I know I've hit gold.
Yeah.
When it says, I'm searching, hit this button if you want me to do an easy answer, which I never hit the button because I want the complete answer, right?
Yeah.
So there's so much for us to learn here. So talk to me a little bit about. So we sort of geeked out for most of this half hour.
Yeah.
I want to know how your AI is making your life better as an owner, how it's making your residents' lives better, how it's making your team members' lives better, and your families.
Okay. So I'm going to start out with my why. And Steve, I'm going to try to do this without getting too emotional.
That's okay. Emotional is good. I'm okay with that.
Emotional is good. Okay. So within 3 months, my world changed. February the 3rd, I lost my mom unexpectedly to pneumonia. And in May 29th, I lost my best friend, whom was the founder of Avendelle Assisted Living. During that time by their bedside, I had calls coming in, emails coming in, texts coming in. And there were times I had to choose to be present or to answer that call. I'm sorry. Or respond to that text. And then after their passing, with my mom passing, I was devastated. And then almost 3 months later, my best friend, founder of Avendelle, Esther Cromwell, passed away. And fear sat in. I started to be fearful. Am I next? What am I doing with my time? How am I managing my time? AI has absolutely impacted my life in that way, in that fear, because I thought about it. I want to be more intentional. I want to save time. I want to manage my business and manage it well so that I have time for the things that bring me joy, which is my family and my friends and travel and all these things, right? And so that's my why for utilizing AI, doing deep research to identify how I can manage my business and my personal life in a way that allows me free time to do what really matters at the end of the day. And that's spending more time with my family, and not having to choose between a task and being present. And that's what launched my whole my agent discovery. How to automate these things? So in my personal life, it's changed my life. what took hours and well, not even that. What took weeks and days now takes hours or less, because all I have to do is initiate it, build it, identify the what, and then build an agent or identify an existing agent and then launch it. My caregivers, the training, I can quickly identify a need, a skill set that needs to be developed. And I'm not even identifying it anymore. It pulls the information, and it's able to automate trainings for that individual caregiver. For my residents, it absolutely impacts every area of their life. It allows our caregivers to be by their bedside and to have more one-on-one, because they're not having to document as much. They're not having to send out that text, or it's automated. And so it allows them to be able to focus on that person-centered care.
Do you find there's any danger? Do you feel like there's any danger of using automation for all those kinds of things, which means the caregivers are going to get away from actually the human interaction, primarily with families, not with residents? The residents part, I'm sure not. But do you worry about that at all?
I do not, because they still have a relationship and they're still communicating. These are the automated tasks, repetitive tasks, the things, but they still have. So now they're able to focus more on that relationship when the family member is there in the facility, when they come in, having that. Usually it's more engagement because of that reason. Like, for example, prior to automating this practice, when a person, let's say a family member came in, they say, hey, how is mom? If there's a concern, you have to go back to the system, to the EMR system, to identify and go back and read through the charting notes. But they're getting the same information in real time. So your focus shifts to that relationship. You're present. You're not having to go, but they already have that info. So there's a different approach.
Oh man, I like that so much. I mean, the ability to go to your EMR or via AI and just say, what's currently going on? Is there any historical stuff I should be concerned about? What's the progress? And either to get it as a written or a text or a verbal, and you instantly know, and you're, it's not impossible that the AI would miss something, but it's actually less likely than a human would, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And then you have checks and balances in place. So AI is a tool, it's a tool for us to use. You still need to check it. You still need to vet it. You still need to ensure, and you build that into your system.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's very much like having an employee, right? I mean, no matter how amazing Jada is as she produces these shows and all these things, right? We're still talking with all this stuff, and then we've got it right, because sometimes maybe I don't communicate so well, and she'll go do something that I don't like because I didn't tell her the right thing to do. It's not her fault. It's my fault, which is a lot of it with AI, right? Often when we get bad results, it's because we didn't give it good enough instructions.
Yeah. And there's this thing called hallucination, and AI and it's much better today than what, let's say, a year ago. It would just make up an answer. You're like, where did that come from? Like, what? but it's much better now. The systems, the developers, the program, they know this exists, and so it has improved greatly.
Yeah. Mo, we're out of time. This is great. I can hardly wait to go to school with you very, very soon. So that will be exciting, and Jada will get back to you on a date. But you're gonna teach me and the rest of the industry some amazing things. So thank you very much. I'm sorry for the losses. I don't think I knew that. So it's just so hard.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Great. And I will be back with you all on Friday for another episode of Foresight TV.